Hello and welcome to a brand new series in Crusader Kings III. Previously, we have been focusing on the Roads to Power DLC, and we've been mostly focusing on the Landless Adventurer part, which is a completely new playstyle that was added into the game. However, they did, in the same DLC, add another completely new playstyle. They added Administrative Governments, which is a new government type specifically designed for the Byzantine Empire. And this is very interesting because it uses a lot of the same concepts as Landless Adventurers, but in a completely different way to create a very weird feudal plus landless hybridization, which I'm excited to try out because I have a lot of ideas about how we could do a series inside of these constraints. So, before we get any further, first of all I want to say that I have had a little play around with the admin stuff, but I'm not an expert, so if you see anything I've got wrong, please let me know and I'll try and adjust. But, if you don't know what admin is, here's the very basics of it. As an admin character, who is a Duke level or above, which is where I've chosen to start because it gives us access to everything. As an admin character who is Duke level or above, we start with an estate. This estate is effectively our only permanent holding. This is what we personally hold. If we lose everything else, we will still have the estate, which is effectively the equivalent of the Landless Adventurer's camp. Which is kind of weird that we're going to have our own estate and we're going to build it up, but this is effectively the seat of our power. This is the main thing that we're going to be looking at. We also, on top of that, have some land. This land is currently the theme of Epirus for our character. Now, this land is not permanently ours. This land effectively goes through its own version of elective to decide who the next person is going to be in charge of it. So if we have a look over here at the Administrative Government tab here, you will see that there are a ton of themes. These themes are every single duchy within the Byzantine Empire. I believe that it will also apply to kingdoms within the Byzantine Empire as well. So if we click on, say, R1 here, you will see that it has its own succession. However, there are currently no candidates of note because we are on the earliest start date, we have no heirs, so it hasn't really worked it out yet. Give it a couple of months and I'm sure it would find somebody to give it to. There are also unassigned themes down here, which is part of the Basilius' domain currently, but there is a candidate for it. So if we check, let's not choose the Basilius' one, let's choose another one. Let's choose, let's say Athens, if we can find it. Or Aegean Islands, there we go. So this guy, who is currently in charge of the Aegean Islands, his primary heir is currently the Basilius. So that would mean that, I believe that, does that mean that he's the, I don't know why his primary heir is the Basilius. I think that's just a, oh no, there we go, it's recalculated it. That makes more sense. Okay, so his primary heir is Sergia. She is currently in line to the theme of the Aegean Islands, but she isn't necessarily the heir to his estate, right? If you think about it that way. His estate could be inherited by someone separately. We could also have a candidate for this theme who we could try and push as the next person to be in charge of it. And that's basically how it works. So you have little elections for all of these titles, while at the same time you have your estate as a permanent thing. This is also shown by the fact that you have a decision in here which allows you, if I can find it here, to retire from governorship. What this does is this takes away your current theme and simply makes you a holder of an estate, right? You simply move to the background, you give up all of your titles, and you simply hold the estate itself. Which is an interesting choice that you can have. You could then, having moved back, push your candidacy for another title, and then effectively get yourself another title without having your estate move or doing anything with it. Which is intriguing. it separates your character from your land, which is something that doesn't often happen in the game. So, that is roughly what administrative is. So, what is my goal for this series? Well, one thing, which is really cool about administrative, is that it doesn't promote aggressive expansion, because there is effectively no way to do aggressive expansion. If we compare ourselves to these guys here, we can influence candidates, we can slander them, we can request their support, we can force them to step down, but we cannot declare war, because administrative vassals cannot declare war against each other. So it is fundamentally a playstyle which is not about declaring war, which is very, very interesting. So that's number one. It's going to be a series where we don't focus on war as much. We focus on building up our estate, we focus on building up our land, we focus on getting our house into different titles, and I really want to focus on making sure that we support our family members in a way that we wouldn't normally in another series. I want to make sure that if we have a family member who has, let's say, some land over here, we're checking in on them. We're making sure that we're doing what we can to make sure that they also succeed, right? That's kind of my goals. So, where are we going to start? Well, the only place we can start is over here in Epirus with our character, Ionas Hexavulis. In case you care about the house motto, it is without regret for the past nor fear for the future. We are the only living member of our house. This is not a good situation to be in. This means that if we die, the game will be over, and, well, that would be a very short series. So, first and foremost, our goal is to get a wife. Once we have a wife, there's many things we can do, but our goal should be to get a wife. So let's see who we're looking for. Now, obvious choices for wives are wives who are lustful. That is quite useful. Because it increases fertility, which gives you an increased chance of actually getting an heir. So, we're down to 63 characters. Is there anything else we want? Well, an inheritable trait would be nice. Okay, we're down to a choice of 3. This makes our life very easy in terms of choosing who we're going for. We have robust, 24-year-old Winfrida. We have Georgia, who is fecund, which is an extra 50% fertility, which is fantastic. Life expectancy and years of fertility are up, which means that we're very, very likely to have a child with her. And then we have Justina, who is Hale. So I think Justina is just a worse Winfrida, but I think Georgia is the perfect option. Now, there is a negative, and that negative is that she is lowborn. However, I think we're going to take that because every Glory Hound vassal, which is 1 vassal, because we only have 4 vassals, will be mad at us. Okay, I think we accept this. Are we going to hold a grand wedding? Average cost is 300 gold and we have 98 gold. I'm going to say that we probably don't hold a grand wedding for this one. We simply take the prestige hit. We didn't even take a legitimacy hit. Do we have legitimacy? I don't know, I'll double check that. Let's go with this. No, we don't have legitimacy. Well, that would explain why we didn't take the legitimacy hit. As I said, I'm still learning. Right, so, with that in mind, what do we currently have going on at our court? What land do we currently have? Well, we have our estate, and our estate is currently getting us 0.25 domicile income per month, and 1 influence per month. I believe you spend influence to get, well, pretty much everything. And we also get 2 domicile building slots. Okay. What's the upgrade to this? Upgrade is 360, and we do not have city planning currently, so we can't even go for the upgrade. Okay. What kind of buildings have we got here? So we have a shrine, which means the influence gained from request clergy support interaction is 150 influence, and we get domicile piety. We got some barracks, we got a sentry tower, guardhouse, a garden, Okay, which would make our court gardener better. I don't know if we can get one of those yet. More domicile income. This sort of thing really is quite useful if we're planning a longer game. Getting some income, reducing building construction time. It's going to build up over time. Househead can ask for domicile building support through request as househead interaction. Okay. Market increases powerful family rating. Powerful family rating is a measure of how influential a powerful family is. While there are many ways to increase a family's rating, the main factor is the number of held governorships. A house must have a rating of at least 40 to be considered powerful. So, what is it talking about there? Well, it's talking about the noble families thing in here. We can see that we have powerful families, which are up to a certain level, and then dominant families. A house must control at least 25% of the realm to become dominant. Okay. I believe it's powerful families are where you can have a powerful family attribute. Every family can have an attribute, I believe, but I believe it's only powerful families whose attribute is actually active. Yes, okay. So, what is a family attribute? Well, if we head in here and we have a look at family attributes, so we're not currently powerful enough to be a powerful family, but if we were, we could have 8% holding taxes for house members, and the liege would get administrative vassal tax contribution of 4%. Be cool. Or we could get 5% army damage, or we could get diplomacy, or we could get martial, or so on and so forth. Basically, any bonus we could ever want, we could get out of this, if we were a powerful family, which we're not. We're currently one of 16 noble families, which makes us basically not special in any way, shape, or form, which is fine. So, with that in mind, let's head back over here, and I remember what place I'm in. Alright, yes, estates. So, where were we? Powerful family rating and gets us more income. I can't do this yet because I'm missing money. Okay. Pastures, grain fields. A lot of these are very similar to the ones that you would build in a normal holding. Small vineyard. Influence gained from wine room building line is plus 10%. So if we had a wine room and we had a vineyard, then we would get additional bonuses. Okay. Olive Grove gives us another 0.3 per month with plague resistance. And a mulberry copse. Okay. I like the idea of the olive grove. What does it grow into? It gives you a lot of plague resistance and attraction opinion. I should also at this point mention that I have changed a couple of the game rules. It's still at the point where it says achievements are active, but the main game rule that I have changed is diseases. So, random plagues, as in random diseases around the map, are reduced, but there is a chance that there will be multiple black deaths that happen effectively, multiple big plagues. So, reduce the number of small plagues, increase the number of big plagues. That's basically what I've done. So plague resistance might end up being fantastic. We'll see. I also have absolutely no idea how it's going to affect the game, because it's the first time trying it. So, also, because it's random, we might only get one anyway, at some random point. So, who knows? Anyway, hopefully not too soon, because we need children. Right, so that's that. So we could buy all of stuff in here. We also then, on top of that, have the option to build in our normal holdings. So we could, in theory, build in all of these holdings as well, which I would assume should be our secondary objective, because realistically we want to upgrade our personal strength before upgrading strength which is transient. That's just my thoughts, but I don't know. Right. Let's... Oh, yes. And governance issues. This tab here. Governance issues are effectively the same as contracts for a landless adventurer. So these will be things that pop up on the map and you can go and get to them and do things with them. This is why I believe you can move your estate, despite moving your estate making a lot less sense than moving, say, an adventurer camp. It's so that you can move it so that you can more easily do like your, what's it called, governance issues. Also, I guess if you lose a title and then gain another title somewhere else, you may want to move it. There may be other benefits to moving it I haven't quite fully realized yet, but yeah, that's why you might want to move it. Right, we can station men-at-arms. Ah yes, men-at-arms. Let's have a look here. So, in armies, you have your basic army screen, which is very familiar, right? You got men-at-arms, you can buy more men-at-arms, you've got levies, you got all this, right? So this is all very familiar. The next tab is very different. You get imperial armies. So, the thing that you don't get with normal men-at-arms is that you can actually hire these men-at-arms out to other people. And you can hire other people's men-at-arms. So, for instance, if we were in a war with Bulgaria, we could say, actually, could these guys, because they've got available men-at-arms, could they provide us their 200 men-at-arms? And I believe that you can use influence for this. Yeah. Although if I maybe need to find some, I might also have to be at war. But anyway, yeah. That's the thing. You could ask them for men-at-arms and then use them to fight your wars. So, although you can't go to war with your fellow vassals, you can use their troops in your own wars if you wanted to expand outside the realm. So, there's options. And then you got mercenaries, which are exactly the same as they were before. Hopefully everybody's still with me. Right. Just seeing what our options are here. Develop capital. We get diligent planning for 10 years, which gives us 0.2 development per month in our capital. And we gain 20 stress. Okay. I dream that Archer will one day be the envy of every ruler under the sky. I must endeavor to be the champion who turns it into the jewel of the earth. All that is needed is for me to put in some more work. Who needs to sleep anyway? We might as well. We might as well do diligent planning because development is something that's best done as early as possible. Let's do it. Right. So that should be a bonus in our capital here. So this is the capital of the land that we hold, not our estate, because our estate does not have a concept of development. So it's now going up by 0.2, which will be quite nice. There is a long-term goal for us, which we can kind of look at here. And in terms of long-term goals for the series, I would say that the absolute furthest we would go is a restoration of the Roman Empire. Beyond that, I have no, there's no goals for me. But really, I'm just looking to explore everything that admin has right now, and we'll see where it takes us. But we do have a decision here, which is interesting. Restore Epirus. This is a very long-term decision, but all we would need to do is get at least one sub-realm county with the backwater county modifier to be 50 or higher in Epirus, which will then allow us to restore it to its former glory. Do we actually have a modifier like that right now? No. So I actually don't even know how that modifier applies, but I guess long-term it is... Oh, no, there we go. Backwater. Yeah. So there are some this one just happened not to be a backwater one, but there are some backwater ones over here, which we could effectively restore eventually, once we get to 50 development, which is, again, a very long-term goal. There are also some administrative decisions which are worth looking at. Government confirmation. This is similar to paying homage. This is effectively the admin equivalent event. You travel to your Basilius's court, they say, yep, you're good, you gain some influence and prestige, they gain some renown, everyone's happy. It's probably something that we're going to do. Commission icon is just commission an icon artifact so we can have a new artifact. You can embrace a heresy if you happen to have a bunch of things that can be embraced. Silk production. Oh, this unlocks that Mulberry Copse estate building we were looking at earlier. So you have to have a level of influence which is high enough, which is this new resource up here. So there's no effect from being influential. Persuasive gets you some success chance, and then the next one gets you even more stuff. And then you have to have some hooks, or the Basilius needs to be your house. Okay. And then you can get access to this, which is a nice building, I guess. Gain faction support. So you can try and gain support for your factions by spending influence. Retire from governorship means that you give up all of your titles, you gain some money, and effectively it's a way for you to step back and focus on your estate. The way I would see using this, also was in the shadows. Increases scheme growths. Ooh, nice. The way I would see using this would be, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of current options, I'm kind of in a situation where there's a lot of problems falling on me. Step back, get a bunch of money, use it to build up a few options, get some more influence somewhere, and then use it to take over another piece of land. That's the way I would see using this. I would use it as a way to reset. And actually, once you have a couple of your family members in different places, this might become a more favorable option. If you don't feel like you're doing anything with your land, you might step back and try and use your support to help your family members. And then change your imperial aspirations. You can say you have no interest in being like considered for the throne, but it makes you lose some stress. Like, you're not as stressed out, and I assume it might also mean that people are less likely to target you, which might be good. Anyway, that's a lot of talking that we've done without unpausing the game. Let's see what other stuff we've got in here, and then we'll be ready to go. So, Chancellor. I don't know, I'm just looking at the people we have. We don't have a lot of great options. Our Spy Master is a vassal of ours. You should probably be our Marshal, because our Marshal has 1 Marshal and you have 4 intrigue. So at the very least, let's just start by swapping those 2. Right? Now, I know that you're worse at intrigue, but that's okay. We have somebody who can do intrigue. So I am going to fire you, my powerful vassal, right now. You are okay. Actually, wait a second. You're okay at being a Chancellor. So I'm going to put you in as Chancellor. You're also a powerful vassal. You're also a powerful vassal. Okay, so actually my Marshal is the one I'm going to fire. I'm going to swap you with my Steward. I'm going to swap my Steward with my Mayor. There we go. And then my Spy Master, I'm going to fire you for somebody who's just better at it. He doesn't like me, but he is better at the job. Okay. Do I want domestic affairs or foreign affairs? I would prefer that fellow vassals like me, and I like gaining the prestige. Out of this, I would prefer that you are training commanders, because I would like the chance for us to improve a knight. Let's see what we can do there. And then our steward can collect taxes, I guess, for now. Yeah, we'll take that for now. Okay, and then our bishop we can't do anything with. Yes, he's just kind of there. Wonderful. Right. Next on our list, we have... I don't need to petition the Basilius right now, although we could have a quick look at his court. That's what this will take us to. So this is the Basilius's court, with all the stuff that he's currently got ongoing in it. That is an impressive looking throne he's got there. Anyway, well, it's fine. We don't have any artifacts, do we? No, we have absolutely nothing. We have started with nothing. Right. Now we get to choose a lifestyle. Well, when I say we started with nothing, apparently we started with 4 perks in the learning lifestyle. What have we got? Faithful, zealous proselytizer, religious relations efficiency, church and state. So realm priest loves me. What can we get to? We can get to convert faith in county. Okay, but I think all of our county is our faith. Yeah, so it's all very, very, very orthodox, as in that is a bright purple. That's fine. So that doesn't get us anything. Profit. Yeah, I don't really need the change state faith cost because we're not going to do that. Radiant, level of devotion impact plus 100%. So that's, let me look at faithful. So that's kind of clergy opinion, which I don't think really matters, especially as our realm priest has plus 50 opinion of us. Don't think we need defender of the faith because that's not really going to get us anything. And then theologian isn't really going to get us anything. So if we go down learning, we're not going down theologian. Now, the obvious place to go if you're going down learning is something like scholar. because then you can get into increased development in county efficiency, which gives you more development. Scholarly circles, which gives you more learning. And then pedagogy, which is you can make your wards better, which I think is probably good. But beyond that as well, there's not a lot in here. I guess the main thing I would go for is whole of body, but let's maybe grab this. Let's just go with this. We'll go for pedagogy here, and then probably just work our way down whole of body, and then we'll see where things take us. Because whole of body making us live longer might be very beneficial on a character with no heirs. Yeah, that might be very beneficial for us. Oh right, yeah, we can station a men-at-arms. I went into here having said that earlier and then completely just did not come back to it. There we go. Right. So, men-at-arms have been stationed. We've sorted out our council to a level. We're getting married. Let's just let the game go at least 1 month forward before we look at anything else. So, zoom out and let's let things go forward a month. Wedding celebration. With my marriage to Lady Georgia, the realm expects us to throw a suitably extravagant wedding celebration. It is well within my right to collect a royal aid duty as part of this, but some may consider it tasteless to levy an extra tax during a time of jubilation. So I can get some money, or I can get some prestige. I am going to take the money, because we want to spend the money. Right, a month has passed. Why was I only waiting a month? Well, because I want to have a look at our courtiers. More specifically, I want to see if any of these courtiers happen to be unmarried. Because if any of them are unmarried, we can marry them off to get new people in our court. I'm also going to, in this series, try and spend a little bit more time making sure that we get people who make sense in our court, rather than just spamming marriages with like people whose stats are kind of whatever, just to get us out of the marriage screen. So we're gonna see who we can get. What have I got here? Oh, right, yes. I have all of this set on. That's fine. Right, so maybe we might want to try and find people who are... I was going to see who are our culture. Like, anyone is not Greek on this list. Actually, right now, everything is kind of perfect for us. Let's say that I want their max age to be... I mean, what's your age? 18? Let's say max age is 25. That gets us down a little bit. And then I want them to be an adult, which doesn't change anything. And then, I don't know. Let's see. Anyone standing out? Anyone got any traits that are exciting? Not really? Okay. In which case, you are going to marry Stefania. Yeah, that seems fine to me. I can spend influence to increase acceptance. Ah, a use for influence. I'm not going to spend it. I just want to see how much it would be. So it would be 60. So what I'm trying to do here is get a rough idea of how much things are going to cost us, right? So this is a 0 prestige marriage. That's what I think is what it's saying here, isn't it? It's a marriage that nets 0 for both sides, or maybe net 0 for me. And an unfulfilled marriage favor is also 0. So we have no modifiers on it. It would cost 60. Okay. So given that we have 500, gives us a rough idea of how much things cost. Alright, I'm okay with that. Next, we have our spy master. Okay. Let's see here. What are we looking for? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? Yeah, maybe we look for somebody with high intrigue to match him. Maybe Evanthea? Sure. It doesn't really make any difference that she has high intrigue, but it makes me feel happier. And then that would also be 60. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Ekaterine here. Now, we need to get more people in our court. So, we are going to have to marry her matrilineally to get more people into our court. I think our current filters are fine. This is our full list of people. What are we missing? We're maybe missing some people who are good at stewardship. Let's grab you for now and we'll see how this goes. And that would also be 60. Okay, and I'm assuming you can't marry. Yep. Okay. What's this? I can host a grand tournament. You know what I might do here? I might turn that one off because I don't think we have the money for it. Yeah, grand weddings are fine because we only have access to those when I have it. When I say I'm going to do one. The rest of these are fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll turn them on as we need them. Okay. Cool. So, those marriages are done. Sorts that out. Do we have any children in our court? I guess I should probably... Oh, also, are there any conquerors on the map? There is. There's already a conqueror over here. Okay. It's worth keeping an eye on conquerors because they can conquer a lot of land very quickly and change how things look. But, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. Right, reset to defaults. Let's just go unmarried courtiers for now. I'll just set it to child. And then we just see here. Yeah, that's fine. So we don't have any children in our court. Let me just save this filter as children. There we go. I'll save that one there so we've got something we can come back to. But we don't have any children, so that's fine. Okay, so I think it might be time to build something in our villa. Because we have a little bit of money to spend now. And the one I want to build, I saw earlier, was the olive grove. Yeah, I think this would be really good for us. I think this is a fairly solid one for us to build. It gets us income and plague resistance. It's going to take 2 years to build. Let's start constructing it. Wonderful. We'll zoom out a little bit and we'll let time move on. New governance issue, which comes with its own sound effects. A bountiful harvest governance issue has appeared in Nicopolis within the Terma of Nicopolis. Okay, what is it? Bountiful harvest. Reports of wondrous plenty of tall crops and verdant fields come in from across the Them. Such a significant boon ought to be put to good use. Leave not the crops to spoil. So I believe this doesn't show up in here, right? No. So this would be like if you have a scheme or something that's ongoing to solve something. This is just going to be a pop-up. So, you may choose between an assortment of rewards, including trait experience in the governor trait. Governor trait just appears to give you different like bonuses for each level. So different stat bonuses, and then you get a stat bonus for a lot of things at the final level. As with all of these trait paths, you get everything on the path at each level. By that meaning, this stewardship one is not overridden by diplomacy one on the second level. You would get both of them, and you get both lots of influence. So it'll be level 1 is stewardship 1 and influence 1. Level 2 would be stewardship 1, diplomacy 1, and influence 2. Right? So, you get the whole bonus. So yeah, let's take the governance issue. Saint Bridget has been kind to us. In many of Epirus's villages, seemingly endless sheaves of grain are collected from fields, well watered by steady rains. And such parsnips, a significantly larger yield than last harvest, is joyfully anticipated. This is, of course, very good news. I must organize an extraordinary workforce and see to the logistics as soon as possible. Now, where shall my wagons carry these great heaps of spring produce? We can donate it to charity, which will give us piety, or move it all to my estate, and I will lose 2 experience in this strategos, which is our governor trait. Okay, so we would lose experience in the governor trait for having personal like bonuses from it. Well, let's donate it to charity for now. Okay. And that gets us a little bit further along here. And we get to keep the trait experience that we earned from taking the governorship issue. Okay. Well, let's speed it up. Also, I'm just going to go in here and we can see that building, which is quite nice. Wonderful. And now we wait. And we see. We're looking for children. We're looking for estates being finished. We're looking for many things. Oh, what's this? Liege entered regency because he was imprisoned by Sultan Muhammad II Ibn Ahmad of the Aghlabid Sultanate, which is the war that he's in. Also, he has just lost the war due to being imprisoned. So, I don't think he was meant to lose that war, and I believe that these guys are now going to get all of Sicily that he holds, which is just going to be that bit in the corner. Actually, it might be this bit as well. Might get that bit as well. Which is not great for us, but anyway. And that's why he's in a regency. So this regency will probably end in about half a second. Yes. My tedious liege, Basilios, has been released from his imprisonment at the hands of Sultan Muhammad and is once again free. Oh, so yeah, he was just after that bit of land there. Okay, cool. I can now once again petition the Basilius. What kind of things could what kind of things can I petition him for? Gold, provincial house rights, grant house governorship succession. Okay. Request the office of Epirus stay within your house. Grant court position or resettle subjects. We can't really ask that he keeps the Epirus within our house, given that we're the only member of our house. Court position, he's probably not going to give us one, because we're not very good at anything. Request that he resettles things and gives us capital development. He's probably not going to do that. He might give us gold, though. Let's see if he'll give us gold. Do I want to travel all the way there, through all this dangerous land, to ask him for gold that he'll say no to? No, I would much rather travel there for governorship confirmation if I was going to do that. Okay, and I don't want to do that either, because I would very much like to have a child before we do anything dangerous. And it refunds the cost, yeah, if you choose not to do it. So yeah, I think I'm going to untick that for now. Wonderful. Well, basically just hoping we get a child, otherwise it's going to be a very short series. We'll have done a lot of build-up for nothing. So, any moment now would be fantastic. Although our olive grove is almost finished. I've been corresponding with your Chancellor, Mayor Dorotheos, and it has been a shameful diplomatic display. You are not the man I thought you were. Oh. Well, that didn't go very well. Overdue taxes? Okay. Solve the situation potentially using your diplomacy or stewardship. Uh-huh. Let's see how this goes. My clerks insist that a village in Epirus is significantly behind with their taxes. It would be a serious neglect to my duties to ignore the matter. The ledgers make it clear taxes are missing. Shipments were never sent. At the moment, the cause of these omissions is unknown. The matter may be one for officials or one for soldiers. So I can launch an investigation, or they will be dealt with in time. We shall launch an investigation. Okay, I'm much happier doing this trip with no danger, although we could hire a caravan master to help us here. Salary when travel starts, 4. Yeah, that seems fine. A point. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. This could cost us 4 gold. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go. Start traveling. All packed and proper, we have finally come to the point where we can start our journey from Nicopolis to our new destination in Epirus. As we depart from the holding and our mounts start treading new ground, I'm certain we will return soon and in one piece. I hope so. Overdue taxes. My entourage struggles along an ill-maintained country path amidst scattered orchids and the occasional cow. My destination, the tax-owing village, really is quite rustic and quite unremarkable, despite being not a day's journey from Epirus proper. A few of the locals, dressed in their distinctive traditional garb, have gathered at the village centre. I'm welcomed peaceably, though without warmth. I must consider how to approach my investigation. So we can go for a diplomacy one, or we can go for a stewardship one. Now, we could, if we want to really min-max it, I believe that you can switch these, like, on the fly to, like, get you extra bonuses. I'm just going to go with an inquisitive approach. Success! Speaking with the villagers proved unexpectedly fruitful. Heads of kin were eager to list the members of their families and gladly extolled the productivity of their plots. Some even boasted of their livestock. Farmers led me about their fields, explaining how much they could expect to gain from the harvest. Some unexplained oversight, unintentional or intentional, seems the cause of this village's failure to pay their dues, but one task remains, deciding how best to remedy the situation. They shall pay in full, not a single kernel less, we get 12 gold, or stationing a garrison here will encourage proper payment. That will increase holding taxes by 10% for 10 years. Alright, let's have a look. What are the holding taxes in this thing? So, holding taxes, we're getting 0.3 income. So, what it's saying here is that for 10 years, I would get 10% more. Well, I wouldn't necessarily get 10% more because I'm getting 10% of this value. But I would get 10% more, which would end up being, it's going to be 10% of 0.4. So it's 0.04, which you would then times by 12 to get you your yearly cost. So 0.04 times by 12 is 2.8, or is 0.28. And then you would times that by 10, so you would get 2.8 gold if that is where your income stays at. So what this is saying is you can get station men-at-arms damage, which is good, control growth, which is good if you happen to be low on control fort level, but essentially 2.8 gold if I've added things up correctly, or 12 gold. I will take 12 gold. Thank you. It cost us 4 to go there as well, which I think is even better. So, really, that whole thing was for 8 gold overall, but, you know, that's fine. Right, back to speed 5. Yeah, let's have a little look at court positions. We can have a personal physician. We probably should. I'm going to make that my bishop for now. Anything else I need? A champion charioteer. I don't think we need that necessarily right now. I don't think we need a bootmaker either, or a court chronicler, or an antiquarian, or a tutor, because we have no children. Yes, I don't think we need any of this currently. But a physician probably makes sense, because we might need that without knowing we need it, as in we might randomly become ill or something. But anyway, demand conversion. Please consider this proposal. You will convert to iconoclast. Since when are you iconoclast? Were you not Orthodox? I'm fairly certain at the start of the game you were Orthodox. I think I want to stay as Orthodox. I don't think I want to switch to iconoclast. I'm going to say no if that's alright with you. As I will decline and gain myself some piety, and hope that my contract with you does not allow you to revoke my title so easily. Okay, factions are targeting the Basilius. I've been studying the ancient religious texts and the writings of scholars, and they all seem to agree the world will end 6,000 years after its creation. By my calculations, we are less than a century away. However, my bishop, even Gelos, urges me to keep it to myself. Leave it to the clergy and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Well, I don't want to be stressed because I'm zealous. I'm going to simply say a reasonable point and we'll let him lead us on. Our level of devotion has gone up. Wonderful. Same faith clergy opinion is up. Learning perk. Let's see. What's this? I can join a grand tournament? Ooh, grab anatomical studies, and maybe we'll go to a little grand tournament. Where are you holding it? In Enos. So here. Okay, we could go there. Yeah. We have 44 days in which to leave. Let's go. It's not like we're doing anything else. It's a little dangerous, I would say, to get to this tournament. Just a little bit for us. Do I have... I could hire some mercenary guards. That would make it a lot less dangerous. Let's hire some mercenary guards. We'll go there. Do we push on to Constantinople? I don't think we need to, because if we go and visit the Basilius, we can do that then. In which case, I am going to go on the way back via here, and then that should be fine. Yeah. We could also go to these ones as well on the way back. Or at least down to Athens. Down to Athens might be worth it, because it will get us more learning lifestyle. Also, actually, on this one, I should go to here, just because it's, you know, like right there. We're already going past it. I'm not too worried about the martial lifestyle, because we don't have any martial like lifestyle experience already. We're not really stacking that yet, so cool. Let's go. We have a captain in our entourage, and we're ready. Yes, every available unlanded knight will go with me, which is basically nobody. One foot after another, I slowly move forward on a narrow mountain trail. Suddenly, I hear a rumble and a quickly silenced scream. Shocked by the commotion, I whip around. Instead of Katerine walking behind me, there's only an equally befuddled and tired face of Evangelus standing in front of freshly turned rocks. Where's Katerine? I demand to know, my voice barely escaping my dry mouth. The only response is the faint whistling of the wind. So we can say, we will save you. This is very dangerous. Many will perish, or she will be in our prayers. She will be in our prayers. Bye, Caravan Master. Trailside Bond. While traversing a challenging path in Gardiki, I hear laughter ahead. My bishop, Evangelus, and my fellow traveller, Andros, are working together to cross a steep, rocky torrent. Evangelos, your idea to build a makeshift bridge was brilliant, exclaims Andros. Evangelus replies with a chuckle, and your quick thinking with those ropes tied it all together. It seems as if this obstacle has led to a new friendship. Then say your ingenuity is commendable. I gain some stress, they become friends, and gain prestige. They become friends either way. Or this will hasten our journey and they become friends. I'll say this will hasten our journey. That's fine. We gain some learning lifestyle experience on the way. A couple different bits of learning lifestyle experience. Tempting fruit. Our road takes us through treacherous parts of Mavruda. While I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Andros jumps out of the bush instead, holding a plant. You scared me, Andros! Anyway, let me see what you have here. Some kind of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll take just a little bite, he says. You can say, hold on, what if it's poisonous? Let Andros eat it, or only if I can try it first. So there's a chance I get unknown plant sickness if I eat it. I am going to eat it because we are arbitrary and I have decided to do it. We gained unknown plant bliss for 5 years. We gained prowess and stress loss. Prowess right before we get to the tournament. Fantastic. We've also finished our olive grove. Wonderful. So we're earning a little bit more per month now. New government's issue. Raiding peasants. I can't do this, right? No, because I have to actually be there. Okay. I love how I said that it was similar to the contract system. Literally, if you hover over it, it says cannot take new contracts. It is the contract system. There you go. Right. We're at the tournament. We're going to go to the artisan's quarters. Why are we going to go to the artisan's quarters? Because we have no artifacts, and this might be good. Also, we're only going to be able to participate in the melee, which is not going to be great for us, but anyway. The wisdom of the hammer. I can see the gentle flicker of flames from the other side of the road. Their warmth wraps my body in a familiar embrace even before I open the door. Inside, the blacksmith lines up a batch of nails. Can I be of help, my lord? He asks, his forehead stained with coal. The air is thicker here. I've heard that the blacksmith can break spells. Please calm my soul. So we can potentially get a better score, but we are also we could be superstitious. We'll gain stress either way. Can you show me an expert technique? Or I was just looking around. Can you show me an expert technique? Our prowess increased by 1. Nice. How many days until we can do another thing? 20. Okay, so we can do one more thing here. That's fine. I'm going to go to the artisan's quarters. Worthy Ichor. A noble's blood. Isaias's voice rings out, startling me. I blink through the gloom to where he stands hungrily brandishing a glinting dagger. All I need is just the smallest splash of noble blood to quench a blade. The sword will be the finest weapon ever made. Songs will be sung of me. He edges closer, a mad glint flickering in his eyes. It'll be all yours, Lord, all yours. I just need to be the one to forge it. Permit me that both our names will be remembered forever. I look down at my arm. If you're sure this'll work, or what nonsense. Well, I mean, we have no heir, but sure, I'll become wounded for this. Sanguine Steel. You gain the Sullied Blade, which I think is the bad option. I clutch a clean rag to my forearm to stem the flow as Isaias fires and hammers excitedly. By the time our bloodletting aims are realized, the rag is nearly soaked through, but the flow itself has slowed and the wound congealed. The sword is reverently deposited on a table. It is, in a word, ugly. Dried blood coats the length of the blade, and the weight of the weapon seems to shift by the moment. The brittle steel is layered with patchy swirls. It's perfect! Isaias doesn't appear to be deterred by my skepticism, his hand shaking as he holds the blade in wonderment. Lowers your prowess by 2 and raises your prestige. Say, I'll take it, or you can keep it. He would pay me stuff for it. I will take the Sullied Blade. I don't know if I'm going to equip the Sullied Blade if I can avoid it, but I will definitely take the Sullied Blade. I may equip it after the tournament. Okay. Also, I'm no longer wounded, which is great. Can I rename the blade as well? I'm going to rename it to something more, like, reasonable. Rename. Can I see who made it as well? No, it says we made it. So this is... What was it? Isaias's blade? We'll call this Isaias's blood blade. Sure. Give me a rough idea what it is. Right. Me hoping I spelt it in some way correct. Probably did not, would be my guess. Although I guess I could maybe find the person in here if I wanted to. Maybe it's one of your courtiers. If I don't see it in the courtier list within 2 seconds, I'm gonna give up. Yeah, that's about as much effort as I'm gonna put into that. Right. Actually, it'll be in the guest list, right? Actually, it'll be in the activity log list. Aha. It should be the last thing that was in the activity log. Or not? Okay, I am going to look in the guest list. You've made me look. By age, he seemed pretty old. Okay. I think he was just generated for the event, though. Yeah, I'm fairly certain he was just generated for the event, unfortunately. There we go. Well, whatever. Carry on. A clear divide has been drawn between the two teams who stand across from each other. I gain prestige just for participating, which is nice. Taunting as they prepare their equipment and whisper plans. Horses are readied in the background, the chargers whinnying and harumphing. Also, we gain another 35 for our knight qualifying. It will be a brutal day's work. My team is sure to defeat Chieftain Baga's band of braggarts. Let's go. We're on the Basilius's team, though. It said we're on the Basilius's team and then says that we should sabotage him. We are not good to sabotage him. The lost lass. I glimpse through the struggling bodies, the rent helms and the swirling dust. Is that a spirit? She has an ethereal beauty to her. No, it is no spirit. Etched upon her winsome face is a look of pure terror as she looks for a way out. No sooner have I opened my mouth than she trips and falls. her ankle twisting from stepping awkwardly on an errant spear, her mournful eyes welling with tears as she cowers away from the whirling blades. And say, hold tight, my dear. And Damian joins our court. I can try and get my friend to help her, or they will have to fend for themselves. I will save her. Okay. From the trees. The hardy scrub shivers and rustles as I push my way through it. This copse of trees is in a perfect ambush spot, adjacent to the path to a rest spot. I do not have to wait long. Nicephorus shambles his way along the path, clearly looking forward to a break from the fighting. The dappled sunlight glints off his armor as the susurration of the leaves mask my approach through the undergrowth. Keeping my eyes on Nicephorus, I eventually get myself into prime position, merely 2 or so strides away from where he is about to tread. Okay, I must be swift, or it would not be right to prevail like this. Oh, I think I have to just take the safe option here, unfortunately. I don't think we're good enough to actually challenge him. Melee into the fray. Okay, this one's less of an event. This one you just pick whichever value is highest. So that's 65% of neutral to good. This one is 31%. That is 52%, and that's 50%. So if we want neutral to good, we choose this one, which is what I'm going to choose. Okay. It's hard to say how much difference my final gambit made. It certainly didn't lose us any ground, but the heaving battle remains in the same state it was. It's almost impossible to call which side is closest to prevailing. There is still all to play for. I can see the heralds begin to make their way onto the field to signal the conclusion of the event. End draws near. So we got no negative event there. So it's a 50-50. We did it! We won! Fantastic. What do we get for winning? Trumpets sound, the crowd clamours, competitors begin to assemble. The contest is over and one team's moment in the sun is being readied. A herald steps forward, a voice booming out across the scene. After many trials, some tribulations, and above all else, some truly spirited competition, we have our winners. Basilios's team beat Chieftain Bagas in the contest. Good game. Nothing beats the thrill of victory. We did it! So, contestants on the winning team get gold, they get prestige, and they get melee victor for 5 years, which is a martial boost. Wonderful, and he gets a prize. Alright. Well, time to leave. What a great occasion. He got a prize brooch and a bunch of experience. Prize brooch and a bunch of prestige. We got experience. Cool. And now we can leave. I will leave. The Wandering Knight. As we walk through the streets of Xanthia, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls with 2 men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, the man has already stepped in between and talked them down. See, it will be fine, he tells a man in the stall with a smile and hands him a solidi. With that simple act of kind generosity, everything else returns to normalcy. He turns to us as we approach. No banner or mark telling me of any liege lord. Perhaps a wandering knight? We can try and recruit Alexandros. He seems pretty good. Can I offer you a drink? Or I don't have time for this vagrant. I offer him a drink. Chance that we get some kind of bonus from it. In some prestige. Okay. Neighbouring ruler won war. Bulgaria has won a war against the tyranny. We lost our sullied blade. To ourselves. Okay. That's so weird, but okay, I understand. I lost my sullied blade to myself. I can equip it now. Because it'll get us prestige, which is technically worth it, I suppose. The Songs of Basilios. As we travel through the outskirts of Epirus, we suddenly see a jovial man in the distance, jumping, dancing, and singing to himself. He seems like quite the character. Would you like to hear some of me songs about Basilios the tyrannical Greek toad? He yells at us as soon as we get within shouting distance. Before we have time to answer, he starts singing a merry tune about the depravities of Basilius Basilios. So I can say, tell me more about him. I may learn of his secrets. You seem like an interesting man. Would you care to join me as my court jester? He would be excellent at it. Or hold your tongue, vile peasant. I will recruit this man. And we will see where this goes. Gain some stewardship on the way out. I get some prestige. Liege passed law. Limited administration law. Okay. Gives him 100 vassal limit. Law replaced. My decentralized realm law is no longer valid as it's been replaced by limited administration. Okay, he can now revoke titles. Well, that's worrying for us. Night by the campfire. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories and drinking with Evangelos. I didn't know that he had it in him, but Evangelos ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants he has seen in Nicopolis. After drying my eyes from the laughter and drinking a bit to clear my throat, I will either tell a story of my own, add some extra embellishment, or ask him to tell me another story. I will ask him to tell me another story. We might become friends. Okay. Now make our way down here. A man of unusual skills. After we have traveled together for a while, I have noticed that there's something about Adrianos. Whenever we make a stop, he's always the first to check out a new city or village. Even tonight, he is again making small talk and engaging with everyone. Somehow he is making everyone feel at home, even out here. Maybe there's something I can learn from him. So I can try and become an eager reveler, or you're the pride of this entourage. I'll try and become an eager reveler. I just can't do it. I just can't party. Evangelos is in charge of our food supplies. And sheepishly revealed, our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and produce, and we have quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. Well, I'm not going to take the 3% chance I die. I will, accept that we're going to take a hit in terms of our prestige, and I will see if we can grab something from the locals. The mercenaries of Attica. We sit in an empty tavern in Attica when a loud band of ragged-looking soldiers come barging into the common room. Their leader, a confident brute, pushes back one of my guards aside and has the audacity to sit down at my table. Noble man, my lord, interested in the services of the best band of mercenaries in Attica? More loyal men you'll never find, at least if you pay us properly. Okay, the best, you got my attention. I have the perfect job for you. You can be my bodyguard, or I'm just here to enjoy a small break. You know what? You can be my bodyguard, mister. I've hired him. The path of rivalry. Traveling through the rugged terrain of Boeotia, a challenge arises as the hillside slopes steepens sharply. My court jester, Adrianos, and my fellow traveller, Andros, begin to argue about the best approach to traverse the treacherous trail. Adrianos, your suggestion is reckless, exclaims Andros, visibly frustrated. Adrianos retorts, and yours is cowardly. Seems as if my entourage is at an impasse. So I can go with Adrianos, I can go with Andros, or, dear God, such children. I am going to go with Andros, as we hired him as a mercenary captain to keep us safe, and the other person is my court jester. I don't need to look at the options. Their job title will just say what we need to do, and we got safe routes for 30 days. Fantastic. And we have made it home. Fantastic. We have made it home, and now that we have made it home, I cannot help but notice the lack of a child. So, I'm going to take drastic measures. We are going to... not that person. We are going to seduce somebody. We are going to seduce my courtier we picked up on the trip. We're going to see whether we can get her to get us a child. So, seduction. Let's go. I do gain a little bit of stress because I'm zealous, but on the other hand, it's very likely to succeed. What's also very likely is that I am going to end the episode right here. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking, subbing, subscribing. What was the... Yeah, all of that's liking, commenting, subscribing. You see, I don't do this very often. I only do this at the start of each series so that the series has a chance to grow, so that search rankings have a chance to go up, so that everybody can basically see the series. So, I would appreciate if you did it, but if you don't, well, I can't really stop you. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, for another episode. Thank you for watching, see you next time, goodbye.